Hello guys, in this video I will try the model GLM-4.6, which is a new release by company Z.ai based in China. So this is a Chinese open source or partially open source model, which is claimed online to be very good. So there are posts like this, amazing model, also posts like best coding LLM, beating Sonnet 4.5. So this is exactly what I will test in this video. I will try 3 tasks with Laravel project on both Claude Sonnet 5 with Claude Code and then in VS Code separately, GLM 4.6 in Kilo Code. Kilo Code is one of the ways how you can use GLM model. And Kilo Code deserves a separate video, separate review, and I will do that sometime in the future. But basically, it's a coding agent that you can install into VS Code, for example, and then you can top up the credits on Kilo Code. So for example, in this case, I topped up for $5 and then they gave me $20 bonus. I'm not affiliated, by the way, with them. I'm just trying out. And then I'm paying for each prompt transparently and see the credit transparently, which is different than paying for Claude subscription. But in this case, we're not talking about price difference that much. We will talk about model quality. So I took one recent Laravel demo project and asked AI, both AIs, to do 3 things. First, I asked a question about a code base. Second, I asked to add some information on the homepage. And third, I asked to add a database column to the database and calculate the price differently on the page. And this was my first impression with GLM, so let's see if it actually beats Claude 4.5 Sonnet. First, let's try Claude Sonnet and GLM with a simple question. So on that project, what are the versions of Laravel, Livewire, and Tailwind? And let's see what Claude Code comes up with Sonnet 4.5. And I will also start the timer here on my phone. And yeah, the result is 6 seconds, and we have the answer. And the answer comes by analyzing those 2 files. Pretty quick and accurate. Now, the same question in Kilo Code with Z.ai GLM model GLM 4.6. And in this case, I've chosen specifically ask mode and not code mode or any other mode. And let's see what happens. API request to GLM. Those both files are requested. And the result is additional context, so it gets much more data for us. And yeah, 15 seconds. And are the results the same? Yep, the results are the same, and probably the process is similar with checking those 2 files, package.json and composer.json. Yep, that's correct. And here we see the transparent price of that request, which is 2 cents at the moment, and the context here, so that's really useful. But generally, what I like about Claude Code is that it gives brief answer, only the things that I need and asked for. And for example, cursor, multiple times I saw the same thing. It just tries to be very verbose, very detailed, and probably Kilo Code is doing similar thing, which is not necessarily a bad thing. It depends on what do you actually want from the model. And by the way, to compare the price, in Claude Code 2.0, they released a / command called usage. So they calculate the percentage of how much was used of limits, of weekly limits and current session. So this is 4% at the moment. And I'll check those numbers after a few more prompts. Now let's get a bit more complicated. And the next task for both will be to write some code. So on my project on t-shirt choice, I have colors and sizes, and those are dynamic, and some sizes are out of stock depending on the colors. In the database, it looks like this. The table stocks with product ID, color ID, and size ID, and quantity, whether it's 0 or even existing or some number. And the task would be to show the number of available colors and sizes on the home page in the list of products somewhere here. And this is the prompt. In the blade file for each product, add the information and get that data in the home controller. So it's not exactly vibe coding. I know specifically what files to touch, but let's see how Claude Code with Sonnet 4.5 will deal with that task. And I will also start the timer. Okay, so it starts generating something after 15 seconds. And yes, I will allow the edits in this session. Okay, it says done. So 25 seconds or so. And this is the actual code. Home controller gets additional data from relationships. And then in the blade, it is shown with the collection operator. Let's refresh the page. Do we have that visible? Yep, we have colors, comma separated, sizes, comma separated. Pretty cool. The only thing I would change is show the sizes as abbreviation, because in the database we have sizes database table, but abbreviation would be more human-friendly and understandable than name. So in here I would change size name to size abbreviation. And usually for such changes I don't reprompt AI, I just go to file directly and do something manually. So yeah, we go to sizes abbreviation here, and if I refresh, this looks much better. Now let's see what GLM does with that. So I will run the identical prompt in kilocode in GLM, just change the mode from ask to code, and let's see what happens. API request again. It starts pretty quickly, analyzing the models. We have context growing and price growing. Another API request to GLM, wants to edit the file. Actually, let's make it a bit smaller, zoom out. So we have changes in home controller. Okay, API request again. We are already 40 seconds in, but completed. All good, it's just showing the summary. 43 seconds. But from what I've seen, the approach was a bit different. It got the data and filtered that in the controller directly, passing the data instead of doing that in Blade. So in Blade, in the view, it just shows available colors and sizes. Let's refresh the page and see if it works. We go to homepage, and it looks roughly similar to what Claude did with Sonnet 4.5. And again, the only thing I would change in that home blade is just show not the sizes in name, but abbreviation is just that I need to change that in another place. But refresh, and yeah, same result. Now if we compare the price, it's 4 cents in GLM in kilocode, and if we relaunch usage in Claude Code, it jumped from 4% to 6%, so also insignificant. And the last test I will perform will be related to database structure change. So in the orders product database table, we have a price for each order. Similarly, there's cards database table for adding product to cart, and there's also cart products, but in here we don't have the price saved, which in my opinion would be pretty useful. So I want to ask the AI to add the column to the database and save it where it's needed. Because currently if I add a product to the cart, this price comes from product price and not from cart price, which is debatable actually where it should come from, but let's imagine I want that to be saved in the cart as well. So in Claude Code, I will clear the context. This is always advisable to save on usage if you have a new task unrelated to your previous task. And this will be the prompt. In database table, add a column, save it when adding to cart, and I specifically know where it happens, in which file, and also in cart show the data accordingly. This is the prompt for Claude Sonnet 4.5, and let's see how it handles that. So we have a to-do list from 3 items. Do you want to proceed, make migration? Yes. So yeah, PHP Artisan migrate. I also approve. It's changing more code. So item 2 out of 3 is done. We're 1 minute in, and yeah, done. Roughly 1 minute and a few seconds. And now let's try to add something to cart. We choose the color, we choose the size, add to cart, and as you can see, field price doesn't have a default value, and I know exactly what the error is. It should be in the fillable fields. So in this case, it's debatable whether I should reprompt AI, but probably a quicker way for me would be to go to cart product model and add price to fillable, which is even suggested by cursor like this. So yeah, let's try to do that again now. We choose the size, and yep, go to cart, and now we have the data $24.99, which comes now from the database. If we refresh cart products, the price is saved in the database. And just as a proof that it comes from here and not from products, so product ID 1 price is 24, let's change that to $14.99, and let's see what the cart will show. We refresh, and the price here is $24.99, but then it messes up the total price. I'm not sure if it was in Claude's power to figure that out, because it happens in the controller, which I didn't mention in my prompt, and it wasn't a part of the task. So here the total price is calculated from product. And then we have the total amount, which is just shown in the blade, so it's not even calculated from cart at all. It is shown as a variable passing from controller. So technically it should have done something like this. So cart product price directly, and then if we refresh, we have the correct pricing from the cart. But not sure again. Ideally it should have gone deeper, but maybe it's my fault to not specify that in the prompt. Now let's try the same prompt with GLM and see what happens. Send the message, start the timer, API request, and we have a to-do list from 5 items in this case. Make migration, I approve to run it. Okay, the changes in the migration, good. Changes in the cart product, it added price. So what Cloud Code didn't do is didn't add the fillables. So GLM did that. Okay, more changes, cart controller, it actually also changed the total amount in controller. Wow, that Cloud Code didn't do. PHP Artisan Migrate actually failed. And of course, it's my mistake because I separated the code bases for GLM and Claude, but I didn't separate the databases. So they work on the same database. That's why the migration from GLM doesn't work, and that's why it suggests to migrate rollback. It's deleting the migration file because it's not needed. I approve that as well. So this is again my fault. And yeah, it seems to be done. Task completed in roughly, I'm not sure, 2 minutes probably, if I count all my thinking about how to roll back with those migrations. And let's see whether that actually works. So let's add something to cart. Another product, for example, red color, different sizes. Go to cart, so that part worked. If we go to cart, the price is $29.99, but where it comes from? If we go to cart products, the new row is $29.99, but product ID number 3. And if we open products and change the price to, for example, $19.99, let's see what happens. We refresh the cart, and yeah, both numbers didn't change because they come from cart now, not from the changed product price. And this is a proof that GLM model actually went extra mile to update the cart controller to not reference the product price, and also added that field into fillables, which Cloud Code with Sonnet 4.5, surprisingly to me, didn't do. And if we compare the price of that operation, it's 11 cents, which to me is very affordable, I think. For the operation that took like a few minutes with some rollback operation, and if we run usage on Cloud Code, it went up to 8%, which is still very insignificant. So roughly you could afford probably about 30 to 50 queries of similar size in 5-hour window on Cloud Code with Sonnet 4.5. And this is in the Pro plan of Anthropic, which I pay, from what I remember, $19 or $20 per month for. So if we try to compare the pricing, it's probably still worth to have Cloud Sonnet 4.5, because over the month you would be able to run like up to 1,000 queries or something like that, 1,000 prompts. In case of Kilocode with GLM pricing, let's try to calculate. Let's imagine one prompt was average 10 cents, probably 5 to 10 cents, something like that. So what can we get for $20? That would be roughly a few hundred prompts. So 200, 300 prompts per month for $20. But in here, I'm comparing different ways to pay. So in Cloud Code, it's a monthly subscription, no matter whether you use it or not. In case of Kilocode pricing, you top up the amount of dollars that you want, and then you run prompts until you run out of those credits. So in this case, when signing up for Kilocode, I received a bonus. By the way, I'm not affiliated with Kilocode in any way. I just wanted to try it out. So for $5, they gave me a credit for $20 more. So this is my current account. But generally, you can top up for however many amount. Minimum is $5. But yeah, the result of this comparison and the result of my first impressions about GLM, I'm pleasantly surprised. It often feels a bit slower than Cloud Code with Sonnet 4.5, but that slowness isn't significant and isn't a deal breaker. And in terms of quality of changes, you saw that in the third task, Cloud Code rushed to deliver results pretty quickly, but missed a few important details where I need to reprompt or fix manually. So that is a deal breaker, and this is why, surprisingly, this showdown is won by GLM 4.6. The only questionable thing about GLM 4.6 is not actually technical. This is an open source model from China, and the company ZAI is partially backed by Chinese government, which basically means that probably your API requests go to China, which also includes the code of your project, the part of the prompt, the input and output. So if it happens on servers in China, controlled by China's government, it's questionable. But also, I don't want to get too political on this channel. It's actually the same with US. Whenever you prompt AI, you give away the code to someone's servers, whether it's OpenAI, Anthropic, or in case of GLM, ZAI, which is based in China. And I wouldn't even call that out, to be honest, if I didn't see a lot of shady promotions for GLM and Z.ai on Twitter. So look here, 2 tweets from 2 different people, but surprisingly similar. This is one person and this is another person. See the patterns, even in the profile description. And then the tweet, GLM 4.5, very good, emojis, which probably means it was AI generated, also plans listed, and also subscribe with referral link. And also 1-minute video showing something. Another tweet, again, this is a different account, but see how similar. Plans, then also subscribe with referral link, and surprisingly similar video with similar background and everything. And specifically for Z.ai, I see quite a lot of such probably automated tweets, which feels a bit shady personally to me. I haven't seen anything similar, any similar promotions for like OpenAI or Claude or Codex or other popular AI models and tools. Not sure if we can make any conclusions of that, we can discuss in the comments below. But if we go back to the technical comparison, GLM 4.6 is very, very impressive. Have you tried it in your projects, and what is your experience? We can again discuss in the comments below. And finally, I want to advise you to subscribe to my free weekly newsletter about AI coding daily. So every Wednesday I send a lot of useful links, both to my videos and the community links, basically summarizing the news, what happened that week. What are the new or updated models, what community thinks about them, and so on. The link to subscribe to that newsletter will be in the video description below. That's it for this time, and see you guys in other videos.